Hey, welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray. Glad you are here today. We have an amazing show coming up today. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com, where you should go there on a regular basis. Sign up for our email newsletter at zoneofgenius.com to not miss out on amazing content like this. We have a powerful show for you today, and it's going to be about two things. It's going to be about being prepared, and it's going to be about making connections. I hope your day has been great. I thought I was going to have to stay in Nashville Airport, which is not too shabby of an airport. The seats are kind of hard in the airport, so sleeping there would have been difficult, but I've slept in the airport a few times, and it's not that bad of an experience, but I'm glad you're here today. This is the Rundown with Ramon, and I want to make sure before we begin our show that you are protected, that you're safe, and that you're secure. When you leave your home during the day, during the night, when you go home and you're safely tucking your kitty pies in bed, you lock the door of your house. Click, click. When you leave your car, you park your car, you go to the store, you park it on the street, or you park it in your garage, you park it in your driveway, you lock the door of your car. Boop, boop. But are you sure that your business is secure? Phishing is a real thing. Malware is a real thing. Ransomware is a real thing. Scams are a real thing. There are cyber criminals wanting to hack and attack your business, get your data, steal from you, and more. Make sure your small business is fully protected. Yes, you should be careful of the links you click. Yes, you should make sure you have two-factor authentication, but make sure that you have the right software installed to protect your business. Check out my friends at bitdefender.com/Ramon, bitdefender.com/Ramon, because being hacked by cyber criminals is no joke. So good morning, good day, whether you're listening to this online, whether afterwards or you're listening to it live. I'm glad you're here today on the Rundown with Ramon show. Iana of the Musical Web is here. Thank you, Iana, for being here today. Appreciate you. Always appreciate the smile you bring to the show. Thank you for being here as you probably do what you're doing today, tuning your this or practicing your that or getting prepared for clients. And definitely everybody check out Iana of The Musical Web. The Musical Web. I am her future client when I'm waiting till I get my piano set up in my home. Then I'm going to sign up for her Musical Web and take piano lessons. Even I've been playing piano for 40 or more years. Alexandria Nicole, amazing business coach, is here. So let's dive into it. Thanks for being here, Alexandria. Are you prepared? I'm going to tell you a story. I was in Nashville on Wednesday and Thursday. I was there with a client at a private equity conference. Private equity firm was there, and their portfolio companies that they've invested millions in was there, and the companies who may want to be with this company was there, and then the vendors and others in the ecosystem this private equity company works with. Now, I had received the notice on Thursday that my flight back to the vacation capital of the world, New Jersey, back home, was going to be canceled due to, as you know, the FAA issues, the shutdowns, and all the things that are going on in America right now because the government is shut down. So I received the notice. I immediately hopped up, rebooked flights, tried to rebook a hotel that I had checked out of and all those kind of things, and did what I had to do. As I was leaving, there was the snack bar that the hotel had provided for our conference. They had all kind of knickknacks and snacks. They had the 3 egg whites, 14 peanuts, and 2 dates bar. They had that. They had the crane nut mix, little baggie here. They had that. They had a Nature Valley chewy bar. They had that. They had, of course, a Snicker bars, which is the best vegetable in the world. They had, of course, beef jerky, fiery habanero, spicy and smoky beef stick, beef jerky, and more. And so I stocked up on them because I knew what could be coming, that I may have to stay overnight at the airport. I may not have breakfast, may not have a snack, may be a little hungry. And so I wanted to prepare. My question today for you, the reminder for you and me is, are we prepared? Now, it's easy to talk a good game, and I'm not doing everything I should do to be prepared, but it's a question we need to ask, a question we need to address, a question that needs to be brought up. Are we prepared? Now, like in my case, I knew what to prepare for, so I wanted food in case I had to stay overnight. But oftentimes we don't know what's coming. And I think the best preparation we can do is have the mental resilience so we're prepared for anything that may happen. That's number one. Number two, are we financially ready? Do we have money stacked aside to hold us over for a month or 2 or 3 or 6, whatever we can do? Do we have a high interest savings accounts and a retirement account and all these kind of things? Do we have these things available? Are we prepared for what we don't know what's coming? Do we have a backup plan in case our data is taken? Do we have key employees in our business we can turn to and rely on as needed? The question of the day today is, are we prepared? Are we ready? And you all the time don't know what's coming, but we know we need to be financially ready to have a cushion as the economy goes and comes. What about we have a key employee that leaves or dies or something else happens? Our data, are we prepared for that? So the question of the day is, are we prepared? When I was on my trip, I was getting prepared. I had dipped almonds ready for breakfast or dinner snack to snack on because I knew what happened. How foolish it would be for me to pass up all those little snacks and goodies and too much sugar and too much salt, and then wondering why I didn't have anything and I had passed it by. As we heard today on Breakfast with Champions, part of being prepared is asking for help. I've seen Ayanna show up here on the Rundown with Ramon show for a minute, and I'm like, you know what? Wait a minute, Ayanna, you do music lessons? I could learn from you. She's like, yeah. I asked for help. Alexandria Nicole and I, for that matter, have a call coming up. Ask for help, how we can mutually support and uplift and add value to each other is the question. Ask for help. So my question to you today is, what areas of your business do you need to be prepared for? What areas of your business do you know that you need to be prepared for? And again, you may not know exactly what's coming, but financially, you can understand that. Personnel, you can understand that. Operationally, you can understand that. Cyber criminals, hackers, our friends at Bitdefender, go to bitdefender.com. You can be prepared for that. Mental preparation, of course, as Marie Forleo talks about in her book. I love the title. Everything is figure outable, which is so true. Everything is figure outable. Are we prepared is my question of the day. There's no excuse to not be prepared because our parents, our grandparents, we can see history. Thankfully for me, I have my money set aside. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but I've had my money set aside in a special account because I've been following Mike Michalowicz's book, Profit First, sold millions and millions of copies, read by many of you. Profit First is an amazing book that every entrepreneur should not just read, but should implement, putting your money systematically aside, automatically aside to save it for a rainy day. So what are you prepared for, Ayanna? Love that book. Love it. Appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Again, Ayanna, I have that book. Love that book. Love it. Love it. Of course, because you're well read. Asking for help is sometimes difficult, says Trish. Yes, Trish, you're exactly right. I agree. I agree. It's not easy to ask for help, but you have to do it. And again, there's different ways to ask for help, Trish. You don't always have to ask for help from a place of begging. You may ask for help like I do with Ayanna and just say, hey, Ayanna, I want to get better in piano. Is that something you do? And she's like, yes, that's not a freebie. I'm going to invest in her very well-regarded, reasonable course, The Musical Web. You should check it out, The Musical Web. So that's sometimes asking for help. But you're right, Trish. Sometimes asking for help maybe just as simple as saying, hey, I don't got to figure it out. Can I spend a few minutes with you? Can you give me a sound check? Can you give me a sounding board? Can you give me some guidance? Sometimes maybe it is, hey, listen, I need $50,000 to cover payroll. Maybe that's help you need. Maybe now you're going to pay it back. Could be a loan. So, but you're right, Trish. There's multiple reasons to ask for help, and it's not always easy to do. But I find that if we don't ask for help, we're doing two things. One, we're hurting ourselves because we're not getting the help we need. We're not getting the blessing we need. We're not getting the opportunities to us that we need. And we're not allowing other people to make an impact in our lives because I bet they want to. Trish, if you asked me for help, I would help. Ayanna, if you asked me for help, I would help. Alexandria, if you asked me for help, I would help. Now, help doesn't have to mean that I'm going to fly everywhere and give everything to whoever asked it. No, but help, I'll hear what the problem is, and maybe help is referring you to somebody else. Maybe help is sending you a link to a video that you didn't know about. So asking for help. This is important and goes back to the topic of the day today. Are you prepared? What are you doing to be prepared for the inevitable? And part of that is the mental preparation, the relationships in our lives. A friend you thought was a friend, and lo and behold, she does something that's, not so great. Are you prepared for that? And again, we're human, we hurt, but are you prepared? This is the question of the day. And those of us who are prepared, those of us who can be best prepared, those of us who can be in an opportunity spot and be ready, this is what resilience is like, because life is not easy. Life is not easy. In fact, it can be very cruel and unfair at times. But isn't that what life is? Life is unfair. Life can be cruel. Life is not a balance sheet and saying, because you did this, you get this. It's not always like that. I want to pivot here a bit, talking about be prepared at the power of networking and connectivity. Last night, I was in the airport, sitting on a seat by the door. The flight was delayed several times last night. I turned to my right, to my left, rather, as I always do, and said hi to the person sitting next to me. And I don't do this all the time. Depends on if they have headphones on, if they're reading absorbed, or they with small kids, whatever it is. I turned and said hi to the person sitting next to me. And they said hi. It ended up being a young man who's in finances for a family office. And we had a lovely conversation. I gave him my book. I gave him my card. I don't know if he'll reach out. I don't know if he'll connect with me. I don't know it. It doesn't matter. I made a connection. I made an impact with somebody else in that moment. And this is the opportunity we all have every single day to make an impact in the life of somebody else. To share with somebody else, to make an impact with somebody else, to make the world a better place. I would dare say this might be our human obligation for that matter. This might be our human obligation to make an impact. It's so important. How do we make an impact? How do we connect with other humans? And Trish, you are exactly right. Some people don't see that as help. They put expectations on what they want the help to be. Woo, Trish, you are on fire. I am loving this. Trish coming in from our YouTube channel. Absolutely. And I encourage you all, don't miss out. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Follow us at Zone of Genius. Yes, Zone of Genius. Yes. But you're right. You're right. We're human. Sometimes we put expectations. I helped you. It's time for you to help me. I did this for you. You should now do this for me. Sometimes that happens. But you know what, Trish? You know what, Ayanna? You know what, Alexandria? That's the risk we have to take for how we show up. That's the risk we have to do for asking for help. And of course, be careful who you ask for help from and all those things. But that's the risk we often have to take. But is it worth it? And I would say it is. Because the worst that can happen is you ask for help and you reject it. Feels a bit bad, but get over that. Get over that. That's the opportunity for us to grow up and get over. You ask for help, the worst that can happen is the help wasn't the help you wanted. Okay, that may happen. It's worth the risk still. You ask for help, they help you, and now they want something back. That's okay too. You don't have to reciprocate. So oftentimes, unless it's our life in danger, somebody is harming us physically or breaking in or doing something like that, we have the chance of how we respond. As I always like to say, we can choose to be the thermometer in the room or the thermostat. The thermometer is changed by external forces around them. The thermostat, they are the change in any room they're in. Everybody, again, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon, encouraging you today to understand that life is not easy, and it's time for us to understand that and be prepared for it. Life is not easy, but it's our opportunity, our obligation to make the world a better place, that we can live for ourselves and we can live for our families. Flights are being delayed. Flights are being canceled. Are we prepared for it? Are we letting people know about it? Are we giving them a chance to make course correction? Are we offering other opportunities of ways to work with us? Are we doing that? We don't know what the future holds. Do we have backup plans, backup flights? Are we letting people at least know, hey, we prepared for this big thing that's happening, this big event, this big experience happening, but I may not make it? Or are we leaving a day or two ahead of time for us to still show up and be involved? And saying, hey, even though I can't make it, here's a backup person who can. Or leaving enough time that if something should happen, we can still arrive on time. Looking at LinkedIn news, hiring is still slow, shows new LinkedIn data. How do we be prepared, you may ask, Ramon, if we don't know what's going to happen? And you're right. Hiring was down 6% year over year in October, according to new LinkedIn data. This signals a labor market that remains sluggish as government labor market indicators are delayed by the ongoing shutdown. LinkedIn estimates payrolls rose by a modest $40,000 last month, in line with other sources, including payroll provider ADP. That pace matches the growth likely needed to keep the unemployment rate steady and may dim prospects for another Federal Reserve rate cut. Bottom line is, we have the opportunity, no problem, Trish, to change the life, to do what we need to do. We have the opportunity. No matter what happens around us, we still must show up. even if hiring is freezing. Eli Lilly's next generation obesity trial shows 20% weight loss. Health is absolutely important. I'm not going to dive into the issue of taking medicine for weight loss. I'm a firm believer that if you want to be healthy, work out and eat what you can. But that's news of the day. Weight loss is important. People are marketing new ways to do things. Opportunity for us. What new ways are you marketing your business? Things people have been doing things this way. Is that an opportunity for you to show there's a different way in the services you offer, a different way in how you work? This is a question to understand. This is a question for us. Is there a new opportunity? Fashion news of the day: Coach's Gen Z appeal boost Tapestry as Kate Spade falters. Interesting news of the day. I'm going to read this to you. Tapestry on Thursday lifted its full year outlook as Coach continued to draw Gen Z shoppers. I assume Tapestry is a Coach brand. I don't know that. The luxury apparel company reported higher first quarter sales and profit compared to the same period last year, driven by a revenue surge at Coach, which more than offset a net sales decline at Kate Spade. Maybe Tapestry owns Coach and Kate Spade. Of the 2.2 million new customers Tapestry acquired in the first quarter, more than a third belonged to Gen Z. The company meanwhile warned that newly imposed U.S. tariffs would weigh on its operating margins. So yet there's always opportunity. This is why it's important to balance that and have two things. To have two things or more, as Alexandria Nicole does. She has her in-person events. She has her online events. She has a mixture of things. Ayanna has her online musical web courses, or you can hire her to entertain. You could probably hire her for in-person for the right price as well. So this goes back to being prepared. Don't just offer one option. Offer a multiplicity of options. Trish says, Ramon, I'm not starting to drive during your show. I'm going to start driving more rather than taking planes to not be affected by the shutdown. But this is interesting. There's a lot we can learn from large companies. We can learn from large brands, and I always like to learn from them. Headline of the day: ESPN DraftKings team up after Disney drops Penn. Interesting. DraftKings has become the official betting site and odds provider for ESPN under a new multi-year agreement with Disney. The deal comes just as Disney's exclusive online partnership with casino operator Penn Entertainment draws to a close. Under the new agreement, whose financial terms are not disclosed, DraftKings products will become available through ESPN's website. Early Thursday, Disney and Penn said they would end their 10-year, $2 billion partnership after it failed to capture a significant market share during its 2-year tenure. That happens. 10 years is a long time, and I'm glad they tested. I'm glad they tried. Glad they did what they did, but it didn't work out, and they stopped. This is what I said on a previous episode. It's okay to stop. It's okay to stop. You don't have to keep going on if what you're doing is not working. It's okay to stop. There's no shame in that. No shame to try, and then try again. Glenda Crow, welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. Glenda, glad you're here today on the Rundown with Ramon show. So my question of the day today for all of us: are we willing to try, possibly fail, and start again? Are we willing to build new partnerships with people? Are we willing to offer our customers, especially those who already trust us, new way to do things that they may not have been thinking of? And as I said before, I got beef jerky here. I got Snickers here. I know it's unhealthy. I got my cran mix and nuts here. I know it's not all the best, but I was prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to be prepared. Trish, you need to be prepared. Glenda, you need to be prepared. Alexandria, you need to be prepared. Ayanna, you need to be prepared. And I love this is resonating with somebody. Glenda says, oh my God, this is my life. Try and try and try again. This is me. I'm in a journey right now of reinvention, figuring out who I am and what I want to do and how I want to do it. Everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This has been the Rundown with Ramon show, and I'm glad you're here today. Be blessed. Have an amazing day. If I can answer any questions, let me know in the comments. You want to reach out to me? Don't forget to check out my office hours with Ramon. Check out RamonOfficeHours.com, RamonOfficeHours.com. You don't want to miss out on that. RamonOfficeHours.com. Check that out and see how I can help you and your business. Thanks for being here. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing weekend. Thank you, Trish, for that encouragement. So good, Ramon. I appreciate you, Trish. Reach out to me. Let me know I can help you. I can add value to your world. Be blessed. And don't forget to go to zoneofgenius.com. Sign up for our email newsletter. The best thing you can do. Best email in the world, in my opinion. Follow us on YouTube if you're not following. Zone of Genius, yes. Zone of Genius, yes. Follow us on YouTube. Be blessed. Have an amazing day. And I'll see you Monday.